And on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I'm going to show you how to make one of Italy's most classic sauces. It's bolognese. It was a request from one of my viewers, so I'm really thrilled to be able to share it with you. It's slightly different than a regular meat sauce because it's not liquidy or as saucy. It's very dense, lots of vegetables in it, red wine, crushed tomatoes. It's unbelievable. Check it out. Serve it with some rigatoni. If you can find pappardelle, go ahead. That's the pasta you want to use for this, but if your supermarket doesn't carry it, rigatoni will do. So let's get cooking. I'm going to show you what you need. You're going to need some ground beef, some chopped onions, chopped fresh carrots, some frozen defrosted baby peas, red wine, crushed tomatoes. And of course, you can use whatever kind of pasta you're in the mood for, but make sure it's got lines on it. If you can find pappardelle, use them because that's the pasta for the sauce, but I just couldn't find any. So I'm using rigatoni, and of course, you're not going anywhere without olive oil and salt and pepper. Now let's go to the stove because we're going to start cooking, browning things up, sauteing. Let's do it. Now we're going to add our beef, guys. I have a large pan preheating with about 3 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm adding my beef, and I'm going to just break it up a bit. Just with a wooden spoon. You keep doing that so it's all broken up, and you're going to cook it until it's just about cooked through, but not all the way. So just keep an eye on it. Break it up. Medium-high heat. Just like so. And then it cooks until it's just about cooked through. Beef is perfect. As you can see, it's not cooked all the way. That's fine. Now is the stage where we add in the onion. And this is just one medium onion, finely chopped, and a large carrot. Now, I should say that before you start any of this, get a nice big pot with water coming to a boil, because sometimes the longest, when you're making a sauce, a pasta sauce, the thing that takes the longest is for the water to come to a boil. So get that out of the way before you even start cooking. So get that done, then start chopping up your vegetables. Now I've added my onions and carrots. And this is going to take about 5 minutes or so, 5 to 7 minutes for the carrots and the onions to start cook down, get translucent, and really get nice and soft and ready for the tomatoes and the red wine. But you want to leave it alone, you don't want to rush it. Medium-high heat, 5 to 7 minutes. My onions are nice and translucent now, and my carrots started to cook down, so now I'm going to add in a glass full of white wine, about a cup. I just want to cook it for like 30 seconds just to get the alcohol to cook out. It's not going to take that long. But I do want to season it with a salt and pepper, because you know how I like to season every element of my dish. With the salt, some pepper. Stir this up, medium-high. I haven't touched it yet. And now we're going to add in one 28-ounce can of crushed Italian tomatoes. Now I know that my viewer asked for bolognese sauce made with fresh tomatoes, but to be completely honest with you, I've tried making it with fresh tomatoes and it doesn't work because they don't have enough juices and they aren't as sweet and as soft as canned tomatoes are. So what I'm suggesting is that you find a really good kind of, Italian crushed tomatoes in a can. It works just as fine. Actually works 10 times better. So you gotta trust me on this. Make it this way and you'll see. Now, this is just how I want it. Still medium-high. Partially cover it, just like so. And you want to let this cook for about 40 minutes. Check on it, give it a stir every now and then. If it's getting too hot and the liquid's being reduced too quickly, turn it down to medium. But other than that, let it go for about 40 minutes. I'd say 35. And then we're going to add the peas and finish it off. Now my sauce has been cooking for 30 minutes, and as you can see, it's nice and thick. It's not at all watery, which is what we want. My water is up to a boil for my pasta, so I'm going to do that. Make sure it's nicely salted. The Italians believe that the water you cook your pasta in should be as salty as the Mediterranean, so I obey that rule. Now what I'm going to do is season the sauce with salt and pepper. Because remember, we only season the meat and the vegetables. Here we go. Last 10 minutes of cooking is when we add our defrosted baby peas. Now please don't add the peas while they're still frozen, because what's going to happen is when they thaw out in the sauce, it is going to be a liquidy, watery mess. So you want to make sure to do this 10 minutes before your sauce is complete. And you want to make sure that they are thawed completely before you add them. I reduced my heat to medium because it was cooking a little bit too fast. So just cook this for another 10 minutes or so. It's the same amount of time it takes for the pasta to cook. And then once they're all done, we're going to mix them together, finish it up, and it's going to be delicious. Drain my pasta really well, guys. That's really important. You don't want anything watery floating around in there. Now I'm putting it back into this big pan because I want lots of room to toss my sauce in. And you can see it's not very liquidy, which is why it's called a bolognese and not just a regular meat sauce. Just stir nicely. And now I'm going to add just a few leaves of fresh basil. Just going to tear them up, throw them in there. No pasta sauce is complete without basil. Alright guys, let's go to the table and serve up. This is perfect. Smells magnificent. Just make sure you cook your pasta al dente, okay? Just cook it with a nice bite to it, not too soft. You're not feeding it to a baby here. Just plate yourself like that. And then, of course, you're going to take some really good Parmigiano Reggiano, if you want, to you. And just give it a nice sprinkle over the top. And there you have it, guys. It is so good, so easy, absolutely brilliant. You gotta try it. You gotta make it. This is the way bolognese is meant to be. Thick, dense, full of flavor, and as you can see, really easy. To get this recipe and other recipes, check out my website, www.laureninthekitchen.com, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.